Most traders spend hours staring at charts trying to answer one question: where is price going next? And then they draw 17 lines on the chart, add 6 indicators, zoom in until the candles look like Tetris blocks, and somehow become even more confused. But what if you stopped trying to predict every move, instead started looking for a sequence of events? A price level gets tested, liquidity gets taken, market structure shifts, price creates an imbalance, then you wait for a retest. That sequence is at the heart of the smart money concepts approach we're breaking down today. And no, you don't need a chart covered in enough boxes and arrows to qualify as modern art. The goal here is to make the concepts simple enough that you can actually recognize them when you're looking at a live chart. We're going to focus on 4 pieces: break of structure, change of character, liquidity grabs, and fair value gaps. More importantly, we'll put them together in one repeatable framework. Let's start with market structure. Imagine price is climbing upward. You see a high, then a pullback, then another high that exceeds the previous one. After another pullback, price pushes to another new high. That creates the basic pattern of an uptrend: higher highs and higher lows. Whenever price pushes above a previous significant high, traders using this framework call that a break of structure, or BOS. The important part isn't the fancy abbreviation. The important part is what the break tells you. It shows that the current directional structure is still being maintained. But here's where things get interesting. An uptrend doesn't continue forever. Eventually, price can lose momentum. Instead of continuing upward, it starts turning lower. But you don't simply declare, yep, trend reversal, because one candle looked a little grumpy. You want price to break an important previous high or low. That structural break can signal a change of character, commonly abbreviated like this. I know you may want to pronounce it as ch, but you simply call it a change of character. So think of it this way. BOS helps you recognize that the existing trend is continuing. A change of character helps you notice that the behavior of price may be changing. And that distinction matters because we're not trying to trade every wiggle on the chart. We're waiting for evidence that the market's behavior has actually shifted. Now flip the whole thing upside down. In a downward trend, price creates lower highs and lower lows. Price breaks beneath a previous significant low. That can form a bearish break of structure, but eventually sellers can lose control. Price stops making convincing lower lows and begins pushing upward. If price then breaks above a meaningful lower high, that can signal a change of character toward the upside. So you've got the basic structure. Trend continuation equals break of structure. Potential change in direction equals a change of character. Simple enough, but here's the catch. A structure break by itself isn't necessarily the entire setup. You also want to know where that change is happening. And that's where areas of interest enter the picture. Think of a supply or demand zone as a location on the chart where price has previously reacted strongly. If price repeatedly reverses around an area, that area becomes more interesting than some random spot in the middle of nowhere. For example, suppose price repeatedly drops after reaching a particular resistance area. You wouldn't automatically sell just because price touched it. Instead, you could watch what happens there. Does price push beyond the level and then quickly reverse? If so, you may be looking at what traders commonly describe as a liquidity grab. And this is one of the more interesting pieces of the puzzle. A liquidity grab can look like a breakout at first. Price moves beyond a recent high or low, making it appear as though the market is about to continue. Then instead of continuing, price snaps back in the opposite direction. Imagine price has been hovering around a recent low. A trader sees the low break and thinks, fantastic, breakdown confirmed. They enter short. Their protective stop is positioned above a recent swing high. Then price suddenly reverses upward. That move can run through those stop orders, adding activity to the move upward. The trader who thought they had caught the breakdown is now watching price go the other way. Not exactly the plot twist they ordered. The key idea isn't that every false breakout is some perfectly engineered master plan. The practical takeaway is much simpler. A failed breakout around an important area can provide useful information about price behavior. And that's why location matters. A random false breakout in the middle of a messy chart isn't necessarily very meaningful. A false breakout occurring around a well-defined supply or demand area deserves more attention. Now there's another concept traders often combine with these areas: the order block. In this framework, an order block is treated as an area associated with a strong price reaction. Rather than memorizing some magical candle formula, start by observing where price made a powerful move away from an area and how it behaves when returning there. If price repeatedly reacts sharply around a particular region, that region becomes something you can monitor. But don't fall into the trap of thinking, order block found, money printer activated. No, it's still just an area of interest. You want additional evidence. And this is where the strategy becomes much more structured. The original framework uses the 1-hour chart or higher to identify important areas. Mark significant supply and demand zones. Then wait. Yes, actually wait. That might be the hardest strategy of all. When price reaches one of those areas, watch for a liquidity grab. If price sweeps through a previous high or low and then reverses, don't immediately jump into the trade. The next thing you're looking for is the change of character. Why? Because the liquidity grab tells you that price made a deceptive looking move. The change of character gives you additional evidence that the short-term structure may actually be changing. And then comes another important piece, the fair value gap. A fair value gap, or FVG for short, is associated with a rapid price movement that leaves an imbalance between candles. The basic idea is that price moved so aggressively that there wasn't much two-sided trading through part of that area. Traders then watch to see whether price later returns to that region. And here's where the setup gets interesting. Suppose price reaches a demand area. It sweeps below a previous low, then price reverses sharply upward. After the move, the structure shifts bullishly. During the strong move upward, you identify a fair value gap. Instead of chasing price after the big move, you wait to see whether price returns to that gap. If it does, the retest becomes the area you're watching for a potential entry. That's a completely different mindset from buying simply because a green candle looks exciting. You're waiting for a sequence. Important area, liquidity grab, change of character, fair value gap, retest. Then you manage the trade around logical levels. Now there's an important detail here. Price does not owe you a perfect textbook retest. Sometimes price can move into the fair value gap and react from the edge. Other times it can travel deeper into the area before reacting. And sometimes it won't respect the area at all. That's why treating these zones as guarantees can get you into trouble. They're areas to observe, not vending machines that dispense profitable trades. For proper risk management, the stop loss should be placed beyond the relevant fair value gap. Your target should be at a previous key level. The reasoning is straightforward. If you're expecting price to move away from a particular area, a move decisively beyond that area can challenge the trade idea. The target, meanwhile, can be based on an existing resistance or support area. This is also where risk to reward comes into the picture. A setup doesn't become attractive simply because it looks beautiful. You still need to consider how much you're risking compared with the potential target. Now let's reverse the setup. Suppose price reaches a significant supply area. Instead of breaking cleanly higher, it pushes above a previous high and then falls back underneath it. That's your potential liquidity grab. Next, price breaks below an important higher low. That's your potential bearish change of character. Then you identify a fair value gap created during the aggressive move downward. Rather than selling during the initial plunge, you watch for price to retrace upward into that gap. If price returns to the area and shows the behavior you're looking for, that's where the setup becomes interesting. Your invalidation can sit beyond the relevant area, while your potential target can be based around a previous support level. Notice the symmetry. For a bullish setup, demand, liquidity grab, bullish change of character, bullish fair value gap, retest. For a bearish setup, supply, liquidity grab, bearish change of character, bearish fair value gap, retest. That's the entire framework. But there's another lesson hidden inside all of this. You don't actually need to draw every break of structure on your chart. Break of structure can help you understand the market structure, but the more important question for this particular approach is often, where did the character of price actually change? That's what can keep you from drowning in chart markings. Because if your screen looks like someone threw spaghetti at a financial chart, you've probably marked too much. Focus on meaningful structure. Focus on important areas. Focus on the sequence. And most importantly, practice recognizing it. Take historical charts and pause them before the move happens. Mark your supply and demand areas. Look for the liquidity sweep. Then identify where the structure changed. Find the fair value gap. Then continue the chart and see what happened. Do this repeatedly. You'll start to notice the sequence much faster. And you'll also discover something traders don't always want to hear. Not every setup works. A liquidity grab can fail. A change of character can fail. A fair value gap can fail. Price can completely ignore the beautiful little rectangle you drew and go somewhere else like it has a personal beef with your trading plan. That's normal. The objective isn't to find a setup that can never lose. The objective is to develop a consistent process for evaluating setups and managing risk. So let's put everything together. You're looking at a chart. First, identify the important supply and demand areas. Don't start with an entry. Start with location. Then wait for price to interact with one of those areas. If price creates a false breakout, pay attention to the possibility of a liquidity grab. But don't immediately trade it. Wait for the market structure to provide additional confirmation through a change of character. Then look for the imbalance created by the strong move. If you identify a fair value gap, wait to see whether price returns to it. Only then do you have the complete sequence you're looking for. And this is the biggest difference between chasing candles and following a framework. Chasing says price is moving. I need in. A structured approach says, interesting, price reached my area. Now I'll wait for the conditions. That little bit of patience can completely change how you read a chart. So if you're learning smart money concepts, don't try to memorize 50 complicated terms at once. Start with the core sequence. Where is price? What happened to liquidity? Did market structure change? Where is the imbalance? Did price retest it? Those questions give you a much cleaner way to study the chart. And remember, this is an educational framework, not a promise that every setup will produce a winning trade. Markets can behave unpredictably, and no collection of chart patterns guarantees a result. The real skill comes from practicing the process, reviewing what happened, and learning when the setup is actually present, and when you're simply forcing it because you really want to trade. So open your charts, find a few historical examples, hide the future candles, walk through the setup one step at a time. Don't rush, don't force trades, and don't turn your chart into a crime scene investigation board. Learn the structure first, then learn the sequence. That is Smart Money Concepts.